Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the update preview stream. This is Bugs here. I'm joined today by Artemis and Shadow. Say hi, guys.
Hey everyone.
Hey.
So, what do we have going on today? Well, it is October 13th, 1 week since the big update and forced wipe, and we're seeing various fixes and some forward progress on more long term projects going on. As always, we're going to get into everything going on in Rust development for the week. Before we do, if you have any questions, feel free to do shadow_rustified in chat, and we'll get to as many answers to those questions as possible. Also, if you're wondering, hey, when's WIP? What is going on with server wipes today? Well, Rustafied server wipes are wiping the weekly Thursday wipe servers. That's because we're 1 week since the forced wipe. So it's just our Thursday weekly wipe servers are wiping today. That is your mains, your smalls, your barons, your Zen labs. And each wipe happens at the regular scheduled time for each region. So that means AU and SEA was like 9, 10 hours ago. EU wiped 1 hour ago. BR wipes in 3 hours. And 4 hours from now is when the US servers will wipe. That's going to be US main, small, baron, and Zen labs. And these are map wipes only today, as blueprint wipes were just last week with the forced wipe. And with that aside, let's get into it. What is going on in Rust development this week? Well, if you've been paying attention to your Steam library, you might have noticed a couple hot fixes for your Steam client, or more specifically, your Rust client over the weekend and stuff. That's because, and this isn't uncommon at all, after the forced wipe and patch, there were a couple things that needed to be tidied up. And so we did see a couple of those hot fixes go out earlier this week. They did clean up a couple things like the ragdoll layer changes on plants and basically working on that vehicle collision layer stuff, trying to get vehicles to hit ragdolls but not run into bushes and stuff. They had to revert a bunch of stuff with that because it wasn't working as intended, and they're still kind of coming about, it looks like, in the commits another way to solve that issue. Also, they made it so lumberjack tools are no longer craftable. That was with the launch of the lumberjack DLC. If you bought that but you didn't have the blueprint to some tools, you could still craft them when that patch came out. That was an oversight, and it has been resolved and is live in the game. Also, they removed hidden inventory slots on Workbench and fixed a couple things with the extra cursed levitating cauldron. That's something for the Halloween stuff next week. They fixed the camper barbecue output slots, sometimes showing as locked. And there were also some give notices when you're crafting items or giving items to yourself, showing just zero, and that's been resolved. And also some vehicle storage looting stuff has been resolved as well. And so just a couple little fixes, some oversights that made it into the patch that weren't intended, and that's been tidied up this week. Now, I think that's probably it for hot fixes this week. However, we are going to, and we are expecting, a forced, or I should say mandatory, client and server update 1 week from today. And that is not for hot fixes or anything like that. That's actually to launch the yearly Rust Halloween event. So those festivities are going to kick off next week on October 20th and will go live until the forced wipe in November, which is November 3rd. Had to peek at my calendar real quick for that, but that will be October 20th. The Halloween stuff goes live, and then it will be live on all servers until November 3rd. Now, if you've ever been around for a Rust Halloween event, you know you're in for a treat. There's various things like trick or treating. We've seen Frankenstein's monsters last year, which were some monsters you could kind of spawn around and then order around, and they looked like Frankenstein's monsters. And there's some mummies roaming around, candy prizes, and all that stuff. So we're not sure exactly what the Halloween event is going to look like this year. It tends to change a little bit each year and still have some similarities. I imagine there will be the trick or treating. It looks like there'll be scarecrows walking around the map along with like blue scientists and stuff, and they have slightly different loot. They're a little bit stronger. But what we're going to do, as we always do, is go through next week everything that is coming in the Halloween event and our article next week and our stream next week. We'll go through everything you as a player can expect for the Halloween event. And once again, that's expected to go live with a mandatory client and server patch, which I believe is going to hit about a week and an hour from now. I think it's going to be 2 p.m. Eastern next Thursday on the 20th. So we'll keep you posted on that. Also, this week, we got more progress on the pets branch. And now, this has been, of course, a long in development project, these pets. And we've seen over the past several months, although the devs haven't released any images or any specifics, and it's never been merged into staging where we can test it, based on the commits, we do know a couple things about these pets. First and foremost, there's so far been 3 dogs that have been implemented, 3 types of dogs. There's like a German Shepherd and 2 other types of dogs. I'm forgetting what exact types of dogs they are, but it looks like there's 3 dogs so far. And then there's going to be a taming collar or leash of sorts that I imagine you're going to craft or find, and then you'll be able to tame these pets. And once they're tamed, I think the idea is kind of similar to Frankenstein's monsters, which we saw with the Halloween event last year, and maybe we'll see with the Halloween event again this year. You can like order the pets around and tell them to guard this or follow you or go there, things like that. Now, this week we're seeing more progress on that pets branch. Specifically, what we've got is a compass marker has been added, so you'll be able to see on the compass kind of in what direction your pet is located at. And what we're going to do is keep a close eye on this. I have no idea when it's going to go live in the game. As I said, it's been in development for several months now, and we're just keeping an eye on it to see when it's going to be ready. It does look like it's coming along, to say the least, but will it be ready in November? I don't think so. Maybe December, maybe. Or maybe we'll have to wait till the new year for this, but we'll keep you posted. And especially once the pets branch gets merged into staging in some way, you better believe we're going to have a full article on rustafied.com and show you on this stream everything you need to know about pets. Now, also this week, we've got more work on the industrial branch. Now, this is something we saw for the first time appear just last month. And when we first saw this industrial branch, it looks like they were working on some form of attachment to workbenches that would allow you to kind of auto craft items. The idea was you would put in the resources and a blueprint and then just leave the thing going. And based on whatever workbench you were attached to, you'd have the ability to craft that tier of item, provided you had the resources and the blueprint. Now, what we're seeing this week on the same branch is work on an electric furnace, basically. And so it would stand to reason that's going to work just like current furnaces in that it smelts ore and everything like that. But it looks like this furnace is going to run on electricity, which is interesting. So it'd have some more flexibility with how the furnace is run, how it's turned on and turned off. It could even run on solar power potentially, and you wouldn't need as much wood. So it's a very interesting thing going on the industrial branch. This is all still on separate branches. So, and this is very common, especially the first week after the big patch. There's not much to show off in game because a lot of this work is still just on separate places, still very much in the testing realm. Nevertheless, it does look like this industrial work is really setting it up so that players and groups in the game can set up bigger, more automated operations kind of around crafting and around smelting. And that's an interesting thing to see being worked on and coming into the game. And I can't help but think about the correlation between that and the server to server transfer stuff and the clan system stuff that's all worked into the server to server transfer stuff. If you missed it, that's what it's called, the Nexus body of work. And that's going to allow certain servers to be linked up, share blueprint wipes and all that stuff, and share blueprint data. And then players in one server will be able to hop on a boat, go out to a barge, and take all their stuff and the boat to the other server that's linked up. And yeah, it's going to just allow for larger groups to really participate in actions across multiple servers. And with that, I can see how industrial work having a more larger automated operation for things would really come into play with that. So it's interesting to see how all this is taking shape and really stepping forward, 6 months or a year from now, looking at what the game is going to look like and how it's going to be different with all this new stuff coming in. So exciting stuff. We'll keep you posted. Not clear when this industrial stuff is going to make it in. It does seem like they are moving forward at a good tick with it. So maybe we will see something or the first iteration of it hit in November, December. We will keep you posted. Also, this week, we got a couple things in the other stuff category. First, they have reverted the saddlebag back to 6 slots each. This was in the wake of the huge buff the other month to large and small wood storage. And then this past month, we saw going live, modular car storage was increased and camper storage was increased. And the saddlebag slot amount was actually doubled from 6 to 12. And yeah, it looks like that has been reverted. Also, they are working on a nuclear missile silo, which I'm guessing is a new monument, but not confirmed yet. We've seen some various commits over the past couple of weeks for this nuclear missile silo, and this week was no different. We just saw a couple more commits bringing this into form. It's still on a separate branch, so we'll keep you posted once we have something to actually see on staging and report on. They've done more work on randomizing and improving horse idle animations. And this is, I'm guessing, tied up into the stuff we saw go live last month with, or actually, it was just last week, with the randomization of various animal idle animations. If you ever were looking at like 3 deer just standing there and they'd all like look around in the exact synchronized fashion, that's no longer the case for the various animals around the map, but horses didn't quite get that TLC, so to speak. And so now they're working on the horse idle animations and randomizing those as well. Also, they're transitioning the networking of the game from RackNet, which is where it's been for a while, which is actually a outdated kind of defunct or debunked. It's dead. RackNet is dead. It's been dead for a while. It's no longer updated, and it's a networking system for games, but it's kind of antiquated. And now what they're doing is transitioning the default networking of the game to Steam networking, which is a more updated networking fashion. Hopefully, this comes with performance improvements and server optimizations and all that stuff, and we'll keep you posted. And then finally, they're doing some more work on the caboose and blackjack. If you recall from last month, there is a new train wagon in the works, and it's unlike any other train wagon we have in the game in that it's not for carrying resources or just piling people in there. It's actually going to have slot machines and the new card game to make its way into the game, blackjack. So that's pretty cool. It is still in process. We haven't seen any visuals or anything yet, but given where we've seen the commits go over the past several weeks, I think we're not too far away, honestly, from seeing this caboose and blackjack get merged into at least one form of the staging branch and ready to test here and for us to show off in the next week or two would be my guess. At least that's my hope. I'm hoping we see something cool come in the next week or two that we can show you off. But we'll keep you posted as more comes to light with that. And that about does it for what's going on in Rust development. I also just want to take a moment to share a couple things. One, we are just about a month away from our yearly charity event. That is Charitable Rust. Mark your calendars, November 19th and 20th. And that's Saturday and Sunday in November. And what we're doing this year is we're supporting World Central Kitchen, which is an amazing organization which brings meals to people in need all over the world. Most recently, the Hurricane Ian in Florida and Puerto Rico and everything, they literally brought hundreds of thousands of meals down there, like day of, to help people out in need. And they do this all the time, all over the world. And they're about not just bringing food to people who need it, but also setting up sustainable initiatives so that people can provide themselves food on an ongoing basis. And really, it's just an amazing organization. So that's who we're supporting this year with Charitable Rust. And what it looks like is that weekend, 19th and 20th, we're going to have event servers that anyone can join. This is an open event. Anyone in the Rust space can join, and you can play on these custom event servers. There's custom game modes, there's carnivals, there's parkour, there's races, all of which is tied into us giving out prizes and everything. We've got Loot Room, 3D printed guns to give away. Loot Room donated like 11 or 12 full size AK and everything guns to give out, and we're going to raffle those out. We've got Amazon gift cards. We've got exclusive skins for the game. We've got a whole bunch of stuff, different game keys to give out. So it's just going to be a blast. So once again, November 19th and 20th, mark your calendars. It's going to be a great time, Charitable Rust. And with that aside, Shadow, we got any questions from the audience we want to cover here?
Yes, we do. And hey, everyone. And also thank you for the subs that came in.
Oh, yeah. Thank you guys for the subs.
When is Web?
WIP is at regular scheduled time for Rustafied servers, which is 5 p.m. local time for each region. That means the next WIP for Rustified servers that we're going to see is going to be the BR region in about 2 hours and 45 minutes. After that, at 5 p.m. EST, we're going to see the US servers wipe. Today, it is the weekly Thursday wipe servers. That's going to be Maine, Small, and Baron and Zen Labs wiping in the US. And these are map wipes only. And if you're wondering about any other community server or anything like that, check out their Discord, because generally they have that information in there. Speaking of which, our Discord, rustified.com/Discord, has everything you need to know about our map wipes. And before the map wipes, we actually have map voting. So you can vote on what seed you want to play on each server, and then you can get a preview of what the map's going to look like before a wipe, and get other specific information about when wipes happen based on your time zone and all that stuff. So it's a good resource. Check it out, rustified.com/Discord.
When is Force Web?
Force Wipe, the next one is a couple weeks from now. It's going to be November 3rd. So I believe that's 3 weeks from now. Now, that isn't the next update, though. The next update is actually 1 week from today, because given we're in October, the Halloween event is going live next Thursday at, I believe, 2 p.m. EST. So basically 1 week and 43 minutes from now. And what that event is going to be, it's not going to force a wipe, but it will turn on this Halloween content that we've seen for several years in a row now around this time. And that content will be live in the game until November 3rd, when the next Force Wipe is. So next week, we're going to have all the information and a summary on rustified.com and on the stream about everything you need to know about that Halloween content.
When are you guys planning to do horse rideable for 2 players?
Ooh, I don't know. So let me clarify one thing. We are not the developers of the game. We're just fans of the game like you, who love reporting on development news and running the best servers that we possibly can. And so from that standpoint, I'm not going to ever add two-person horse riding into the game, as much as I would love to, because I think that's a great idea. I just physically cannot, because I'm not a developer of the game. But I do think two-person horse riding would be a cool thing. It would have to like slow down the horse a bit, or have the uh, have the stamina go down quicker or something. There of course have to be some balancing limitations, but why couldn't you have two people on a horse? It makes sense to me. Also, why can't you punch people in the face yet? The game's developed by a company called Face Punch, and it's been 10 years now. I can't punch someone in the face yet. I don't know. I just got to bring that up every now and again. It pops in my head like, why can't I punch someone in the goddamn face yet? I don't know. Anyway, I regress. Next question.
Okay. Do we soon get roads back to build on slash close by with bus stops, for example?
Ooh, I don't think so. I think they've limited the building around roads and railroads and zip lines and all that stuff. I think to their liking. I don't really see that getting reverted and allowing more freedom. I think they want these transportation methods around the map to stay open and clear, because if they allowed it to be blocked, then you can imagine it would be blocked literally everywhere. And then that transportation method is kind of null and void. So I kind of see where they're coming from, but also as a player, I do really love building closer or on roads. So it's kind of this back and forth, but I don't think they're going to be changing that in any big way anytime soon.
Um, is there going to be any Halloween skins?
Oh, you better believe there's going to be Halloween skins. That's the other thing about the Halloween event. Not only does the game turn on the in-game Halloween content, which is like the trick or treat event, which is once a day, candy spawns all around you. You got to go around with a basket and grab it, and then the winners get prizes in the form of candy stuff. But um, shit, what was I talking about? The weather's a little off today, and I think with that my brain fog rolled in because I was just talking and I literally forgot what the question was.
So there was skins as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry, guys. My brain just completely
Got so
stalled
hype
out
about the
there.
candy, didn't you?
Yeah, I was like, "Ooh, candy. What were you talking about? I could go for some candy."
Ooh, piece of
But
candy.
yeah, they're definitely, in addition to all that in-game goodness, there will be exclusive skins on the item store. In fact, they're doing a Halloween skin contest. A German guy is running that, and he just asked me to be a judge again. So I will be judging what skins. Not the only judge. I'm just like giving my feedback, but we'll be having a say in what kind of skins go on the item store next week. But you can believe there will be some Halloween related spookiness in the form of skins.
What is a caboose and can you show it?
Ooh, well, a caboose is a train wagon. And if you Google this, which I did because I wanted to be like, what is a caboose? I always knew as a kid, the caboose is the thing that goes on the back of the train, right? But other than that, I didn't really know what it was. Well, traditionally, according to Google, a caboose is where the crew kind of hangs out and sleeps. The crew of the whole train, basically, once they're done taking care of the passengers, they head back to the caboose, play some card games, and hang out. And that's kind of what the vibe of the Rust Caboose looks like it's going to be. It's got blackjack, it's got slots, and who knows what else. But it's still in development and it's still on a separate branch. So unfortunately, we can't show it off to you. As you notice, Artemis does an amazing job slowly panning through the Rust landscape here, but that's unfortunately our only option. Very normally, especially the first week after Force Wipe, just because in the development cycle, a lot of the stuff they're working on isn't merged into staging yet. And yeah, the caboose is in that category. So maybe we'll be able to show it off next week or the following week, but as it stands now, you'll have to just use your imagination.
Um, what is the water catcher to planter ratio needed to sustain water?
Oh shit, I don't know. um, do you guys know
The
the question
water
there?
catcher to what, sorry?
What is the water catcher to planter ratio needed to sustain water?
I don't think you could because the water catcher will vary depending on the in game weather as well, right? You
Yeah,
could
to be
probably work it
honest,
out on a minimum, but I don't know. No.
I'm a little hazy on that. The water catcher to planter ratio is not something I've recently spent too much time on. Um,
Why
so
not, Bugs?
I
Damn.
know what the
What are
hell.
you even doing?
What? Yeah. What do you all pay me for? I mean, come on.
Actually, I think we go for a recap because we have no more questions for now. So in
All
the
right.
meantime, if anyone have questions, do shadow_Rustafied so I can see them in chat.
Yeah, and here we go. We got chat coming through with an answer. Depends on biome. 4 to 5 should usually do it. So thank you, chat, for coming through. I didn't want to just bullshit an answer. That was kind of what I was thinking, but also easy for me to say after the fact, right? But I didn't want to give you guys a bullshit answer. So thank you, chat, and hopefully chat didn't. That wasn't a bullshit answer. But if it was, blame that guy in chat, not me. Anyway, let's do a little recap here. We got some hot fixes coming in this week. As you all probably know, last week was the big update and forced wipe. And as is not uncommon whatsoever, we did see a couple random hot fixes go live Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and the like. Basically, they were fixing up a bunch of miscellaneous little things that kind of snuck their way into the update, including they've been dealing with this ragdoll layer stuff where they want the cars to hit uh, the ragdoll bodies, but they don't want the cars to collide with the bushes. But the ragdoll bodies were on the same collision layer as the bushes, but then they changed that, but then it was colliding with other crap. And the way they launched it, it just wasn't how they wanted. So they reverted all that stuff again. They're going back to the drawing board with they just really want these ragdoll bodies to get hit by cars for some reason. And I can get it, but it does seem like a lot of back and forth if you're looking at the commits over the past couple of weeks, just trying to figure out this one ragdoll collision thing. Anyway, makes me glad I'm not a developer, right? Also, they fixed it so lumberjack tools no longer are craftable. They appear now as skins to the hatchet and pickaxe. And that was because if you didn't have the blueprint, but you bought the DLC, you could craft them without the blueprint. It was this little oversight thing. They've fixed it up. Also, they removed the hidden inventory slots on workbenches. They fixed some stuff with the cursed cauldron levitating, they fixed the camper BBQ output slots showing as locked, and some looting issues with vehicle modules while the engine is on. Random crap. If you want the full lowdown of what they fixed, as always, you can go to rustafied.com. My article this week does summarize all of that. Now, next week, we've got the Halloween event going live. This is October 20th until November 3rd, when the next Force Swipe is going to be. We will have the in game Halloween event happening in Rust. Now, this does kick off with a mandatory client and server update, of which we'll be broadcasting next week around the time it should go live. So, all servers will need to update. It will not force a wipe. So, if you're playing on a monthly wipe server, you're not going to have a map wipe with this update, but it will turn on the Halloween event like trick or treating, various mummies roaming around the map. Maybe we'll have Frankenstein's monsters back. I don't know. That was last year. And various other things. And of course, we're also going to see exclusive skins on the item store, which are Halloween themed. So we'll keep you posted next week. The article and stream next week will just be summarizing what you as a player need to know and can expect to see in the Halloween event in game. Also, we got more progress on pets. This has been a work in progress for months now, and TLDR, there's so far, it looks like 3 dogs. You can craft a leash to tame the dogs. Once you tame the dog, you can tell it to like follow you or go somewhere or attack or whatever. That's our sense of it based on the commits, right? And then this week, we're seeing more progress, including the addition of a compass marker for showing where your pets are in relation to you on the compass. Not sure when this pet stuff is going to go live. It does look like it's making good progress. Will we see it in November? I don't think that's super likely. December, a bit more likely, but maybe next year. I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep you posted as always. Also, on a separate branch, we got more work on industrial work. Now, this is very interesting. This, long story short, looks like it's basically setting up operations or allowing players to set up operations that are more, well, industrial, more large scale and automated, not only for crafting things, but also now with the work on an electric furnace, looks like for smelting things as well. So far on this industrial branch, we've seen some sort of like auto crafter device that's going to attach to various workbenches, and then you feed in a blueprint and the resources, and it will spit out the finished product. I imagine you'll be able to do multiple products at once. So you put one blueprint in, you put a whole bunch of resources in, and then just say start crafting, like bullets, gunpowder, whatever. And then what we've seen this week, work on an electric furnace, which, I mean, it stands to reason that's going to do what a normal furnace does, right? It's going to smelt ore and refine stuff, but it'll probably run on electricity, right? Instead of wood. So that opens up a lot of interesting possibilities with the electrical current, solar panels, various other things. So it's going to be interesting to see what the impact of all this industrial stuff is on the game. Still on a separate branch, so we're keeping a close eye on it, but it does look like they are moving forward at a pretty fine velocity with this work. So maybe we will see the first iteration of it go live in November. We'll see. We'll keep you posted. And then also in the realm of other stuff, once again, they reverted the saddlebags back to 6 slots each. They're working on a nuclear missile silo, which we think is probably a new monument, but not super sure, not confirmed. They're working on randomizing and improving horse idle animations. So the horses don't all like look down and then to the right and do that thing like all at the same time. I'm sure you've all seen it. Now they'll do them uh, a couple seconds apart, probably. And then also they're transitioning the Steam networking. Basically the networking in the game is moving to Steam's networking as opposed to this thing called RackNet. It's been using RackNet ever since the inception of the game, but RackNet has been like a dead technology. It hasn't been updated in years and years. That's my understanding of it, at least. And so it's like this outdated and there's exploits and it's not ideal. So now they're moving over to Steam networking by default, which ideally should just work better. And then also finally, there's more work on the caboose and blackjack functionality. Those two are combined because the blackjack is going to be in the caboose along with a couple slot machines. And the caboose is, of course, a train wagon that's going to attach to the other wagons and travel around the map. And I guess it's going to be as you're bringing your resources over to train yard or whatever, you can head in the back and gamble a bit, which cool. So we'll keep you posted on that. All of this stuff basically now is on a separate branch, which is why we just have Artemis kind of slowly panning through the beautiful landscape of Rust. But we will, as always, be back next week. There's always an article on rustafied.com, first thing every Thursday, that summarizes all this in text and pictures. And then same time, same place, every Thursday at 1 p.m., we're back showing off everything you need to know about development in Rust. And now what popped in my head is every Thursday at 1 p.m. on Twitch, providing Bezos doesn't shut Twitch down. Wouldn't it be fucking perfect? We finally get Twitch partnership after years of streaming and frankly not really trying because I only stream for an hour a week. But we finally got it the other week. And now how perfect would it be? Some girl breaks her back at TwitchCon and Bezos just looks at this whole thing and is like, you know, just shut it down. I don't even care anymore. But if that does happen, we'll just stream from YouTube. Or didn't Microsoft have some bullshit, but then they shut it down after they paid Ninja like a bunch of money, something like that? I don't know.
Mhm.
We'll figure out a place to stream from. Don't worry about it. Um, but yeah, that's what's going on in Rust development this week. Any other questions?
Yeah, we have a few. Uh, when is there going to be a Rustafied and streamer versus devs match?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know. Um, it would be cool, but also I wouldn't want to see me in a competitive match of Rust because I'm not that good at the game. If you had like a role playing competition or something, maybe, but
You can
I'm
stand there and craft some ammo and
yeah, I'll be a base bitch, but I'm no PvP Chad over here. I'll hang out with Alistair like sorting boxes or something. We'll see.
stuff. Okay, let me see the next one here. Is there a chance that the cars will be skinnables? Skinnable.
Yes, there is a chance. And I say that because several years ago when we had Helk on the stream, someone asked, will this be skinnable? And basically what Helk said years ago was in the long term scale of things, they want everything to be skinnable because it is just cosmetic changes, right? So he even included the idea of having base blocks be skinnable and stuff. So with that in mind, I think, yeah, it's very possible we could see skinnable cars. And to the extent they want to make whatever skinnable in the game, I think that's pretty cool. One, it provides a revenue source for the community to create skins and make a profit off of that, but also it allows the devs to sell the skins and make consistent money each week on something other than just the sale of the game. And all that stuff is good because that motivates the devs and gives them the resources to keep developing this game. And that's something I want to see continue for years to come. So hopefully they do add more skins.
And I see a few people asking, when did you say that Halloween was coming in?
Halloween is coming in next week, October 20th. at around this time, 2 p.m. Eastern is when the update will go live. It is a mandatory client and server update. It will not force a wipe, but it will put the Halloween event live on all Rust game servers between the 20th and November 3rd. So you'll have a couple weeks of fun.
Hold on. Will there be more than just dogs for pets?
I don't know. I don't know. As it stands now, the only pet models we've seen get committed on the commits, like I should say mentioned on the commits, are dogs. But there's also hidden commits. For all I know, they've got a pet giraffe in the wings, and we just haven't seen any wording of it in the commits. But as it stands, and the devs are playing this kind of close to the chest, they haven't really released much specifics about this functionality. It does look like there are three different types of dogs as it stands. I see
Yeah,
someone asking, when will we have access to Rustafied partner channel in
I
the
already
Rustafied Discord?
messaged him. I already
Okay.
replied.
Do we have a partner channel in the Discord?
We have a creator support, yeah. It's probably
Bugs,
that, yeah.
I got this.
Oh, you got no. I was
Yes,
thinking for
yeah.
people. I'm once again. I'm brain farting here. I'm thinking for people who subscribe on Twitch, if we have a special place in our
Oh,
Discord
no,
for
no.
Twitch subscribers. But that wasn't the question
No,
anyway,
no, no, no,
and we
no.
don't. Maybe we should. Anyway,
Maybe.
note to self.
Yeah, I'm gonna message him after stream.
Cool.
Is someone gonna show me the ropes if I apply for server mod?
Oh yeah, we got a whole training thing and everything like that. In fact, I'm not sure if apps are still open or they might have been closed off because we are doing rounds of interviews this week from new server moderation. This is a voluntary position that people can apply for if you're 18 years or older, and it's really just to help us get more moderators in the servers, getting rid of hackers and keeping the gameplay awesome. So rustified.com/apply, I believe was the link if the applications are still open. But yeah, if you apply and if you get approved, we do have a whole training process. It teaches you how to moderate in the servers and use the tools that we use and everything. Also, cool little aside. I'm not sure if I can. We're trying this new anti cheat thing. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to talk about it, so I'll be vague, but it's a new automated anti cheat thing we're trying on our servers. So far, it's looking awesome. So far, it's like catching hackers. We got some other things in play. So, from an automated standpoint, uh, moderation on the servers should be much better, like now, like soon. But also, we've got a big round of people we're onboarding and interviewing and everything. So we are building our moderator presence in the servers. As always, if you have an issue in the server, you can report in game/report or go to our Discord and report. And we do have active moderation staff. You might not always see them in each specific server because we have over 40 servers, but we do have moderation staff around. They are here to support you. Reach out in game or on Discord for help if you need it. Also, F7 in game, always a good option as well.
I'm multitasking here. Anyone know what gaming engine they're using to develop the game?
Unity, baby. They are using Unity, which is still in development itself. So that's been an interesting thing over the years of this game being developed. Unity, the underlying engine, is being developed. What's really fun is when they wait a year to upgrade the version of Unity it's running on, and then they upgrade Unity, and then 28 things in the game that were working no longer work and they got to go in and fix all it. It must be such a fucking nightmare from a development standpoint. I can't imagine. I have so much respect for the devs, especially the ones who have been in it for years and years now. Like really, it's got to be from just a morale standpoint hard to keep at this for so long. So mad respect to all the developers of this game because yeah, you guys are killing it.
And also the same guy. He said, "Do you know why they choose Unity instead of Unreal?"
It's just what Gary decided to go with at the time. I believe Legacy was also coded in Unity, so it was kind of this low-hanging fruit to convert certain assets over and stuff like that, and certain code over. Uh, but yeah, there's of course a couple options. Unreal being another one, and everyone has their opinion, right? on like, oh, Unreal would run better or look better. But the fact of the matter is, this game, if you really think about it, is really pushing the boundaries, especially from a networking standpoint and a performance standpoint, of further than most other games do. It's massive online multiplayer, 5, 6, 700 people on one map in a server at a time, all able to build and hunt and smelt and all this stuff. That's really a feat to do. So I think Unity, although not ideal, I frankly don't know if the other gaming engines would be able to do this as well. I don't know.
That's it, Bugs. We done.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just being with that for a minute. I'm just being with that for a minute. Looking at the time, yeah, it's a bit of a slow week. We're not quite at the hour here, but okay, okay.
Anyone have else I can't talk now again. Do you have any questions before we shut this down?
Uh,
Write them right now.
oh, someone asking how we make our money. Uh, Thankfully, well, let's just say we're not on the Face Punch payroll. We're not developers of the game. We're just an independent organization of fans of the game like you who love running the best servers that we can and reporting on development news. And the way that we're able to do this is actually just through the support of the community. So for people who watch, people who give us bits and subscribe on Twitch, and specifically our beautiful, wonderful VIP customers, that's really the lifeblood of this organization. That is what enables us to keep running the servers that we run and showing up every week reporting on development news. Not for nothing, but each one of these servers, given I was just talking about how massive this game is and how it pushes the limits, well, we need a very high powerful physical computer hooked up to a very fine, fast internet connection with a ton of RAM, SSD, 12th gen processors. One of those machines runs one of our servers. So we need to pay for each month close to 40 of those machines all over the world to just run the servers that we run. So let's just say that's a lot of money each month. And if we didn't have the VIP product and we didn't have the support from the community, there's absolutely no way I would be able to afford the expense. So thank you everyone for the support, because we are an independent organization and we do. I will speak for myself. I love doing this. I love this community, and I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to have an impact in this space. But the only way that I have that ability is through the support of the community. So thank you guys so much for that support. And then also, as a piece of that, we love giving back and really help improving the lives of other people across the planet. And that's where next month, November 19th and 20th, Charitable Rust was kind of founded in that spirit of giving back. And this is going to be the 8th year we've done Charitable Rust. We've raised over $800,000 for various charities over the previous years. This year, the 8th year, we want to bring that cumulative total over $1 million raised for charity. We're doing that by supporting World Central Kitchen this year. We're going to have event servers with tons of prizes and giveaways, all raising funds for this amazing cause. There's going to be exclusive Twitch drops the week and weekend of, and there's going to be 4 skins on the item store, the proceeds of which all go towards this amazing cause. Shout out and much love to Face Punch for supporting us in that endeavor, because literally if Face Punch didn't enable us to put the skins on the item store and agree to give up the large sum of money that they would have otherwise made off those skins and donate that to this cause, if they didn't do that, we wouldn't be able to have nearly the impact that we have. And so thank you, Face Punch, as always, for the support. And just thank you, everyone, for tuning in for Charitable Rust. So stay tuned, mark your calendars, November 19th and 20th. But other than that, we got any other questions before we wind this puppy down?
Yeah, there was a few. Um, are you going to address the invalid shots anytime soon?
Am I? I'll address it right now. I'll address it right now. There are invalid shots in the game, and they're fucking bullshit, and I hate them. I hate those invalid shots. But also, I'm not a developer of the game. I'm just a guy who talks about what's going on in development each week. But I don't do shit with development. Believe you me, if I was a developer and I could turn off those invalid shots, I fucking would. But also, no, the developers are aware of them. They've done various things to fix them, and it is not, as they say, a low-hanging fruit solution. It's a complicated issue that they're working towards fixing, and they have, quite frankly, made better, but it's still an issue. So that's that.
What was going on with Brazilian servers?
Brazil. Don't get me started on Brazil. Long story short, we've got Brazilian servers. We were hosted in Brazil, but that hosting, they were raping us on the price and they weren't providing good service. So we found another host that's like, yeah, we'll ship some machines down to Sao Paulo. No fucking problem. Couple of weeks, you'll have new boxes down there. It'll be great. That was like 3 months ago. We canceled the people we were with. We set up temporary hosting out of Tejas, Texas, but and we've been hosting them out of Texas there, and we've just been waiting for this hardware to get into the data center in Sao Paulo. First round of hardware we sent down there sat in customs for like a month and then got stolen. So see ya. So another round of hardware was sent down there, and it is now, last I checked, still collecting dust in customs in Sao Paulo. So we're still hosting out of Tejas. Now, hopefully, I'm honestly, I'm not that religious, but I am praying to some higher power at this point, just that someday I'll get a fucking box in Sao Paulo. In the meantime, it's going to be in Texas. And honestly, if this goes on for much longer, I might just scrap. I hate advertising that we got BR servers and they're hosted in fucking Texas. That's not cool. But that's just the situation we ended up in. And now I'm like just at the powers that be, just fucking. And if anyone's got an in Sao Paulo customs, man, yo, shoot me a DM. Let's grease the wheels a little bit or something. But yeah, that's what's going on in BR.
That's it.
Cool. Well, cool. Thank you everyone for tuning in. And thank you, Artemis and Shadow, as always, for being my co-MCs.
You're welcome, as always.
Yep, you're
Oh,
most welcome.
and a little aside, we got some new people working on videos for us. So we're going to have some new content hitting YouTube soon. Stay tuned for that. And also, we're recording these and we're going to be re-hosting them every Friday onto our YouTube channel just to give more viewership and allow this to be accessible to more people. So that's a new thing we're doing. And I hope people appreciate it, but stay tuned for that. And yeah, in the meantime, we will be back next week to show you everything you need to know about the Halloween content going live October 20th to November 3rd. We'll also have, as we always do, an article on rustafied.com. The first thing going live Thursday, showing off everything going on with that Halloween content. In the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week and a wonderful wipe. And with that, much love to you all. This is Bugs signing off.